welcome, stargazers and mystery seekers, to the Outlaw Astrology podcast, where we explore the cosmic mysteries that mainstream astrology doesn't touch. I'm your intrepid star guide and cosmic detective, APM. Trigger warning, today's episode discusses and explains unexplained and mysterious phenomenon, and mysteries such as this may be unsettling to some listeners, so please take care of yourself and opt out if you need. Before we dive in, please take a moment to rate, review, and share this podcast. Those 5 stars help fellow cosmic rebels find us in the vast digital cosmos. And now on with the show. Okay, so we're going to start with Jupiter and Saturn and the cosmic framework. And so Jupiter is always about expansion, and Saturn is always about constriction and structure. Okay, so that's simply put. Now, if we want to dive a bit deeper, and we absolutely do on this podcast, being who we are. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the outer planets and cosmic mysteries. So the transpersonal planets and Chiron can offer profound insights into a deeper dimension of the mysterious, the unexplained. So it can bridge the mundane and the mystical. These two realms can now have a bridge, which is another way, the quantum astrology, which is a working title currently. So let's not, we don't need to make that too fixed. It's just right now, that's what I call it for want of a better term. But we're talking about Jovian expansion. That'd be Jupiter. So Jupiter is the great benefic and has been since traditional times and in traditional astrology. And it represents the philosophical quest to understand the cosmic, to understand the mysterious, the unknown, and to make sense of it. So investigating unexplained phenomena, it can govern the expansion of consciousness needed to grasp higher truths, meaning truths that transcend our current understanding or are outside the current understanding, particularly if Uranus is involved. Cross-cultural patterns in ancient wisdom traditions, and a broader cosmic significance of the mysterious, any mysterious sightings or sights and events. Now, we're going to step into Saturn. I said Saturn is about structure and constriction and delays, and that it is, but it's also the Lord of time and also the Lord of form. So it reveals the underlying frameworks of mysterious phenomenon, and when investigating, it can illuminate ancient timing systems and cosmic alignments, meaning the stars aligning, physical and temporal boundaries of unexplained events and karmic patterns and cycles within certain mysterious occurrences. Okay, so those two planets often have they provide a framework for investigating the unexplained. That is the purpose of the two. One is about expansion, the other one's about structure and also discernment. So if you're looking to be more discerning when you look at anything that is mysterious, unknown, and that can be anything that does not come from a tradition that you belong to, or one that you're curious about, or just, you're into cryptozoology, you're into ancient aliens, you're into ancient mystery and occult traditions, or the esoteric, this would apply to that. Also to ley lines, the investigation of ley lines, Nazca lines, and things of that nature. Okay? So you'd be using Jupiter and Saturn to provide a cosmic framework or a celestial framework for which to better bridge the gap between the two so you can better understand things. In the contemplation of the unknown and the mysterious, we're also looking back into ourselves. What is mysterious and unexplained within us? Okay, so this might also provide a framework for which to understand what is mysterious and unexplained within ourselves. Okay, so we're going to step on to revolutionary insights, and this is where we're talking about Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. So Uranus is known for breaking through conventional explanations and conventional wisdom. Neptune dissolves the veils between dimensions, and Pluto can reveal hidden power sources as well. But lastly, I forgot to mention that Eris challenges mainstream narratives. Eris is about righteous indignation, meaning you have a right to be angry, and what do you need to do to make things right? Okay, so if we're going to dive a little deeper into this, and I also forgot to mention Chiron, but first we'll step over that and we'll come back. So, when we're looking at transpersonal planets and cosmic mysteries, Uranus is about awakening. And Uranus is also known as the Great Awakener, and it illuminates sudden breakthroughs. That means that crack of lightning, that aha moment, it's like, ta-da, or lightning strikes. If you, when I look at, say, for example, the Tower card in Tarot, there is always a strike of lightning, which is a sudden revelation, a sudden, unexpected, and shocking revelation that completely levels our understanding, our Saturnian or Saturnine understanding. So the Tower in Tarot, the Tower stands for, in the card, the literal structure stands for Saturn for me. So when I see that, I'm thinking, okay, we have a very strict structure that Uranus is coming to lay waste to, because we need a bigger understanding, Jupiter, and sometimes Uranus jumps in. So whenever Uranus and Jupiter talk, it's about a giant revelation, a shocking and unexpected one that opens us up to greater expansion. And if we see Uranus in aspect to Saturn, for example, we're going to see a unexpected shake-up or breakdown or breakthrough in what our systems, our cosmic framework, for better or for worse, has been blown up or blown out or imploded or what have you, but it has been damaged, and now we have to rethink things. So when we see Uranus talking to Saturn, for example, it would be an unexpected breakdown or breakthrough in our framework, our understanding of things, that maybe it's gotten too stagnant, or maybe we become too certain or too sure, and there are giant holes that Uranus is awakening us to. So in investigating unexplained and mysterious events, it can reveal revolutionary insights that transcend conventional explanations. The electromagnetic quantum aspects of certain ancient technologies, if we're using it to study and understand that, or investigate that, and also unexplained connections between earthly mysteries and cosmic patterns. So any patterns you might see, we can, as on Earth, we could also see ourselves as being entangled with the larger cosmic story. Now, we got Neptunian veils. And Neptune is the ruler of the cosmic ocean, and is also symbolizes the veil, as we understand it, between this world and the next, or this world and any dimension in particular, and it dissolves boundaries between dimensions and realities. And so when exploring mysteries, it can govern the psychic impressions or mystical revelations at sacred sites. It can also govern or be about the dissolution of preconceived limitations in our understanding of things, and it also can be about connections between the collective dreams and the mysterious phenomena. In addition, if we have, say, Neptune, it dissolves boundaries. So that means also Neptune in aspect to Saturn means that, could mean, depending on if it's a square or if it's a hard aspect, squares, oppositions, or flowing, sextiles, and trines, how we approach, and what we can see about dissolving a structure. So maybe we have a block in our understanding that's making it difficult for us to perceive clearly. And Neptune and Saturn can symbolize that block, especially if it's square or opposition. But do not be mistaken in believing that just because there's a sextile and a trine between the two energies, the two planets as energies, that makes it easier and clearer to see. Not necessarily. A trine can support too much energy, meaning too much earth energy, which makes it difficult to be, we're grounded, very grounded, but it makes it difficult for us to leave what we understand and what we know in order to understand the greater picture or to understand the spirit of the message, or to understand the spirit of what we are trying to learn by looking at the mysterious and unexplained. So Saturn in connection to Neptune can also be confusion. It could be a fog. It could be wanting to make sense of something in a very literal way that is just not going to happen at this point or cannot be understood in that way. Okay, just to give an example. Now we've got Pluto next. And Pluto is the lord of the underworld and also very psychological. It has a very transformative power, traditionally in astrology. But within the mysteries, it can also be highly transformative as well. So it could be about hidden power sources, or ones that we can't see, or ones that we don't understand, for example. Underground chambers at ancient sites. I mean, anybody who's ever watched a documentary, any documentary, whether it be Ancient Aliens or Hidden Sacred Sites or the documentaries about the Egyptian pyramids at Giza or some of the sacred mounds you'll find in Mesoamerica that are still existing, or the ones that are also being found in South America, Central America, and also in Europe. All those mounds that tend to have chambers, secret hidden chambers within, and we're still trying to understand why they were built, the purpose of their built and their meaning of the placement of everything within said structure. So it can also symbolize cycles of death and rebirth encoded in mysterious patterns, etc. If we've got Pluto in a quantum chart in aspect to Mercury, I would also say understanding a mysterious language. These hieroglyphics, for example, or any of the numerous writings you'll find in such sacred sites, Mercury in aspect to Pluto is also understanding the mysterious pattern. So maybe the language has a transformative power, or it has a secret hidden message encoded, and Mercury is there to open up our ability to tell a story about what we see, and also to open it up so we better understand it. Okay? And lastly, Plutonian depths can also be about, meaning Pluto, the lord of the underworld, can also be about profound transformations triggered by any unexplained phenomena. Because sometimes unexplained, the mysterious can take us outside of our regular scheduled programming. So we go this way, and then some weird thing happens that makes us question, at least for a few seconds, whether or not this is the best path, or whether or not this is who we are, or whether or not this mysterious thing and unexplained thing within us is really as truly terrible as we thought, or as benign as we thought, or as neutral as we thought, etc. Okay? And next, we also have Iresian wisdom, and that is Eris is a minor planet, or a dwarf planet. It's actually a real planet, and it's in the Kuiper belt, is what I pronounce it, and I might be pronouncing that incorrectly, but it's out there in that second asteroid belt, which is where Pluto resides, in addition to a bunch of other asteroids and other dwarf planets out there. So Eris is called the Awakener of Discord. And it brings revolutionary perspectives to mysteries. And when analyzing phenomena, Eris can illuminate the overlooked and rejected evidence that challenges mainstream narratives. So we have a tendency to see what we want to see and believe what we want to believe. I find myself doing that quite a bit, especially when I'm looking at an aspect of a chart. And if that chart happens to be a transit and there's two planets doing things mysteriously that I don't understand, I'm going to tell a story about it. And that story is going to be me ignoring things or repressing it, which is a very common human way of being able to deal with pressure and the, discomfort. And so, once again, the overlooked and rejected evidence, it challenges our mainstream narratives or even just mainstream narratives. Also, hidden truth when seemingly within seemingly chaotic patterns. So when we have Eris in an aspect with Pluto, hidden truths have a tendency to get revealed, because literally that is what the myth is about. And seemingly chaotic patterns as that would be Uranian. So Eris in aspect to Uranus would be things that look like chaos. Suddenly we're having a breakthrough or an awakening moment. If Mercury is involved, there is starting to be the dawning of understanding. If Jupiter is involved, that dawning understanding is starting to coalesce into a belief system or a worldview or a perspective or a philosophy. And lastly, the role of the divine discord in expanding consciousness. Okay, so that's what we got there. So let's do a quick background, because I really would like to also mention Chiron. Now, Chiron is a planetoid, and it's called a centaur. It is an asteroid, but it has certain planet-like constituents, in addition to also having some comet-like behaviors. So it's kind of its own thing. It's not exactly an asteroid, it's not exactly a comet, it's not exactly a planet. So Chiron is known as the wounded healer, and in addition to that, the maverick, representing the other within us and the token within us, And so it serves as a bridge between the known and the unknown. The known being Saturn, what we know, that edge of what we know, and the unknown being Uranus, in a manner of speaking. And so when we're talking about the analysis of mystery and the unexplained, we're looking at points of intersection between the ordinary and the extraordinary in reality. And reality, for the purposes of this podcast, is about what we agree upon, the agreed upon narrative we have about what this means and what that means, okay? Broadly and generally speaking. Next, healing wisdom encoded in ancient sites and artifacts. And when I see this healing wisdom, I see Chiron and Neptune. If they are in an aspect, the healing wisdom is more likely to come up. I would then interpret it as such. And lastly, the transformation of wounds into gateways of understanding. I would see that as Chiron. If it were in aspect to Mercury, understanding would have a tendency to dawn. If it's an aspect to Uranus, it would be a revelation that seems to come out of nowhere, okay? And so we have two key insights that I will share later as we wrap things up. So let's move forward toward the lunar nodes and mysterious revelations. So the north and south nodes of the moon form a very powerful axis. It's about evolution and revelation. And when we explore the unexplained phenomenon, we're offering profound insights into both the origins of the future and implications of said mysteries. So sometimes you'll hear the nodes as called a nodal bridge. And basically we can simply say it's connecting ancient wisdom to future discovery. So that's the bridge between what is the known and what awaits discovery. And that's how we might see the nodes. So if we're going to talk about we're going to start with the north node first, and we're looking at future mysteries. So the north node, which is called Rahu in Jyotish or Vedic astrology, it points toward evolutionary potential and future discoveries. So when we investigate the mysterious, it reveals where the mystery is leading us in terms of consciousness and in terms of evolution. The untapped aspects of the phenomena that await discovery, and the mystery that connects to humanity's collective destiny. Okay? So if we're looking at conscious evolution and where that mystery could be leading us, I might be looking more in Jupiter or Mercury, because those are consciousness. Mercury and Jupiter are always about consciousness, particularly in quantum astrology. And we're looking at untapped, that await discovery. I'm looking at the moon, because that would be also what is hidden and untapped, and how the mystery connects to a collective destiny. I might look at Pluto in aspect to the North Node as well. So moving on, the South Node, ancient wisdom. So the South Node is known as Ketu, and in Vedic astrology, and it connects to past lives and ancient knowledge, if you believe in past lives and reincarnation, for example. So when analyzing unexplained events or mystery, it could be about illuminating karmic patterns, historical precedents for said mystery, forgotten wisdom that could help explain the phenomena or explain our experiences in the present, ancestral or prehistoric connections to the unexplained. I would see this, if I saw the moon aligned with, conjunct in particular with the South Node, I would look at ancestral and prehistoric connections to the unexplained. Okay? So that's how I would tend to view that if I were going to make an assessment. Okay? So we're going to keep it short for today, because I think that's quite enough for now. In the future, I might look to, next season, I will look towards talking more about Black Moon Lilith and the asteroid goddesses. But for now, I think this is a good starting point for which to jump off. So what we're going to do now is let me share some key insights, some key takeaways, so as to keep this as clear as possible. So, number one, key insight: Jupiter expands our vision, Saturn provides structure, and Chiron helps us to integrate mysterious phenomenon in our understanding of reality. And together, these three form a powerful triad for investigating the unknown. Now, another one is that the outer planets work together to reveal the multi-dimensional nature of mystery. Uranus breaks through limitations. Neptune dissolves illusions. And Pluto can transform understanding. Eris disrupts fake and false paradigms. Lastly, nodal wisdom. When investigating mysteries like the Somerton Man case, for example, which we're going to do, and UFO encounters, also which we're going to do, we examine how the nodes interact with other planetary placements to reveal the deeper historical context and the future implications of the phenomenon. Okay, so the nodes often form a bridge between what is known in ancient times and what is yet to be discovered. Okay, so remember that cosmic forces aren't just abstract concepts, they're practical tools for investigating the mysterious and the unexplained. And the reason why you're going to want to do that is because the mysterious and unexplained without can also provide a mirror and reflect back at what is mysterious and unexplained within ourselves. Okay? So, some quick housekeeping. There is a newsletter. It's called the Daily Stargazer. You'll find that in the show notes. If you wish to support the Outlaw Astrology podcast, there is a link to support us on buymeacoffee.com currently. And you can find us on Instagram at the Outlaw Astrology. You can find us on Pinterest at Outlaw Astrology, and YouTube also at Outlaw Astrology. Those links are also in the show notes. Thank you very much for tuning in today, and until our next cosmic adventure, keep your eyes on the stars and your mind open to mystery. Peace and astro magic.